My people now how on a day. I said, make we hear this guy again. This guy when they give us the water. They say truth hurts. Make we hear this guy again. And I go try to respond to them as well. But yeah, listen.
See, let me tell you something. I'm not fear anybody for here. But if I must say this thing, I'm going to say my mind. The fact is, and what is informing my mind is the fact that nobody lives here forever. I'm going to speak to Igbo people. And I'm going to tell you this. Nnamdi Kanu was a mistake that happened to you Igbo people. Was a mistake. Why do I say it's a mistake? It's a mistake in the sense that, despite the fact that all these things that this guy has stated some years ago, that is happening now, a bunch of you motherfuckers, let me put it, a bunch of you motherfuckers cannot even rally round to defend and protect and ensure the fact that he's been liberated. I'm telling you, it's a mistake. That is to say, the Igbo people are not worth sacrificing for. They are not worth dying for in any way. Because at the end of the day, they are a bunch of talkatives that doesn't translate into reality. And if I must say the truth, I'm going to say my mind today. I don't know whether I'm living, I'm going to live, how long I'm going to live or whatever. I'm going to say that I even appreciate the lives of them gentle de Yahoo than a bunch of you idiots, a bunch of you fools that create flimsy excuses in regards why you cannot stand and defend the need that this man is not supposed to be behind bars. I'm telling you, take it or leave it. I'm calling for an anarchy or whatever. But the fact is, the reality is staring you people in the eyes. And you motherfuckers are seeing it. And the best you can do is online propaganda to come and show why we are like this, why we are like this. You are expecting a magic, whether from the US or from any other country or whatever. But the fact is, the power lies within you people. You bunch of motherfuckers that are not ready to live up to. Do you know what it means? Do you know what it takes for this man to actually go even a year without seeing his wife and his children, without fucking his wife to get that gratification? And you bunch of motherfuckers, even ordinary Soludo, young Buro Oba has to coerce you into the need why you need to open the market for economy to prosper, despite the fact that you have your own brother that is detained while other people are still working freely. Bandits, criminals are still working freely in Nigeria. And all you have to say is, when we come out, they're going to kill us. Nigerian government, not like us, whatever. Let's pay money to lobby the US. It's a shame on you motherfuckers. And the last time anybody ever come up to tell me about Biafra, tell me what you're going to do about Biafra or the fact that Nigeria needs to reset itself to accommodate everybody. But as long as this is concerned, you people are nothing but bunch of disgrace. With just an exception of few that are ready to lend their voice in regards to, is this a country? Marcel Nnamdi Kanu told you people that this is not a country. And we are seeing, and even the globe is seeing that this is not a country. This rubbish is happening. This man sacrificed his life, the life of his family, for you people. And all you bunch of motherfuckers can come and do is just to capitalize on the fact that when we come, they go kill us. Sure, they don't kill us now. They don't carry and go casino sentence up to life. And you bunch of motherfuckers are busy there in their homes, fucking their own wives, fucking your own wives, having your own children to see them every day. While this man cannot see his wife and his children, do I agree with whatever he has done? I don't agree with the fact that his pronouncement or whatever has resulted to some casualties. But what has resulted to the casualties? The malhandling of the federal government of Nigeria of the situation that has translated into this. Because if the government were to handle this reasonably, it wouldn't have resulted to this. And this is a man that has a strong conviction, no matter what it takes. But you bunch of motherfuckers, keep doing your business. The last time I see any idiot between God and man coming to tell me why we need to do this on social media, thunder fire you. You bunch of motherfuckers have the resources and all it takes to liberate this man. And the fact is it going to be an easy route? It's not going to be an easy route. Just like the route he took, it wasn't an easy route. But you idiots are waiting for an easy route to take to actualize that. Shame on you motherfuckers.
Hey, hold on there. Come on.
See, let me tell you.
There for me. Let me see your face, more. Let me see your face. This is serious, my people. God have mercy. Hey, how do I start this one? Hey. All my people, now where we not day? I say, all my people, now where we not day? Oh. Biafra they come, oh, now where we not day? I say, all my people, now where we not day? Oh. Simon Ekpa go bring Biafra, oh. I say, all my people, Are you ready, yo? I say, Simon Ekpa, go bring Biafra, go bring Biafra, oh. All my people, are you ready, yo? Oh. My people now how a day. I don't know how to respond to this because sometimes they say the truth is bitter, but every taste of it is sweet. A bittersweet, an oxymoron. When you hate me so much that you love me, you love to hate. A bittersweet. They call it an oxymoron. Because the way this thing is, you know, what this guy said here, you see me laughing. I could see I can see the frustration from a man who is not even a Biafran. A man who is not a Biafran feels this way. So I ask myself, what else do you guys need? Now, speaking to the Biafrans, what else do we need to understand that we are in a war? What else do we need to understand that even the so-called case, appeal case of Nnamdi Kanu, it is not a trial. What he's going through is a persecution. A prisoner of war going through a so-called trial in the hand of the enemy. What do you expect him to do? You all saw the story of Saddam Hussein, how he was killed and hung in a junta. Even when you come to Libya, you saw what they did to Gaddafi. You saw how they killed him. We're at war, but somehow you guys, you Biafrans, somehow you still believe in this thing called Nigeria. You still believe you are in a country called Nigeria, where when you look around, every tribe, I will not swear in this one, they hate us with a passion. And you ask yourself why. There is no coherent answer to give. Why every tribe in Nigeria hate us? I call a spade a spade. I have no time to bite my tongue for no one. Because I came in the public and I told you guys, I was not happy with the so-called alliance I saw Nnamdi Kanu and Simon Ekpa were having with the Yorubas. I called a spade a spade. Because sometimes you guys still have this mistake. You make this mistake to assume that what is happening to Nnamdi Kanu or Simon Ekpa, oh, it's just a legal thing. No, we're at war. Nigeria had to bribe Finland. They gave them an oil and gas contract. The same way now, you are hearing how a lobby firm was paid in America. The DCI group in Washington, D.C., they were paid $9 million just to lobby for 6 months. Get your facts right. The lobbying was for 6 months. 9 million. And you know how these consulting firms, they act. They know how to play the game. Even though for Tinubu, he's trying to get as close as he could to Donald Trump. So all the guys he's lobbying, they are all, affiliates to President Donald Trump. But somehow, when someone like me is speaking and breaking this thing down, you guys don't want to listen to what I'm saying. You guys want to go towards those ones that preach to you and they tell you, oh, Biafra is a spirit. They got a Biafra in Jesus' name. In 2 weeks' time, Nnamdi Kanu will be released. You hear some men of God, some criminals you call your men of God. You believe in them. That's what you want to hear. Guys coming to a live program and preaching. They come to preach, they've seen the future, that Nnamdi Kanu will be released. But they didn't see the future of what they did to Simon Ekpa and Nnamdi Kanu. They didn't see the kidnap. They didn't know that Nnamdi Kanu was in Kenya when those things were happening. All I want to say is, our problem is so complex because the way I'm looking at it, our people are not ready for real freedom. I've seen some so-called freedom fighters. Now they are saying, oh, they believe in the Igbo alliance. Ala Igbo, you know, Ndigbo and all those things. They believe in the Igbo movement. And I'm asking myself, do you guys understand that if you are pursuing the Igbo agenda, it means you are for one Nigeria? Because if you are only chasing the Igbo agenda, it means technically you are in one Nigeria. You believe in one Nigeria. You want to conform in a so-called one Nigeria. And you guys, you forget that even the Buhari government, they gave Nnamdi Kanu in a platter of gold the 5 so-called southeastern states to carry and go to do his own Biafra. But he told them, no, I'm sorry. I don't want these 5 states. I want the whole region. Every inch must be accounted for. So these things you guys are fighting for, say, hey, you know, Igbo movement. Ala Igbo, all those things, you know, and the Igbo movement. Nnamdi Kanu was offered that stuff under the Buhari government, and he said no. He does not want those 5 states. He wants the whole of Biafra. So when I look at these things again, I just ask myself, you know, what else are we really looking for? Do we really want to be free? Because to call a spade, it was the governors that first of all proscribed IPOB before they now gave the opportunity, the leeway to the Nigerian government to come out in the public to proscribe IPOB as a terror organization. People like Dave Umahi and the rest of them, they all came in the podium and they spoke and they said, going forward, IPOB is now a proscribed organization. Not knowing that they were shooting themselves on the foot, because by so doing, they gave the Nigerian government the opportunity to now put a sanction and say, all the Biafrans, the 80 million Biafrans, are now proscribed. It means we are now terrorists, according to the paper. And what do you do to a terrorist? You kill them when you catch them. Although those ones in the north, the real terrorists, they parley with them, they do deal with them, they find a way to conform with them. They came with a policy known as the cheese approach policy. FFP, they fund them, they feed them, and they pay them every month. A policy that was created by your NSA, the ostrich they call Nuru Ribadu. He came with the policy for the real terrorists of Nigeria, known as FFP, feeding, payment, and funding of the real terrorists. But we, the Biafrans, asking for our own freedom, saying we don't want to be Islamized in Nigeria, saying we don't have the same ideology, we don't believe in Islam. Islam is strange, it is foreign to us. We are mainly Jews, Christians, and traditional worshippers. We don't believe in the moon god, the one they call Allah or Alat. You guys don't know that Allah had a sister. The sister's name is Alat. That's why in every mosque there is a oh my God, you guys, in fact, let me not go there. Let me not go there. But I'll say this. Go to every mosque you see. There is a personification to personify, to make human of something of every mosque you see. They respect the sister of Allah known as Alat, A-L-A-T. Or some will say A-L-A-T-T, Alat, the sister of Allah. That's why in their mosque, there is a dome in the shape of a breast. Look at the roof of the mosque. There is always a dome which shows the shape of a breast. And upon that dome, there is a nipple on the dome. It means Allah is the nourisher of the world. So when they make their mosque and the breast is facing the universe, the sky, it means it's a personification of letting them know that they understand. Because sometimes your culture, we were not born when we had our culture, but the culture is still there. And we carry on with the culture. So them building a mosque and having that dome, most of them don't even know why they build a mosque and there must be a dome there. That's the religion of the Arabians. It has nothing to do with us. It has nothing to do with we, the Biafrans. So we have seen the trajectory of Nigeria. They want to Islamize Nigeria because to them it's all about the conquest. Today, as we speak, Iranians, they celebrate their new year just 2-3 days ago. 2-3 days ago was the new year in Iran. They follow the real timetable. When there is spring, to the Western world now, we're in spring. But in Iran is the beginning of a new year, held by the Persians. The Persians. I'm saying all this for you guys to understand that what you have in Nigeria, what is happening in Nigeria, 3 countries are responsible: Pakistan, Iran, and Turkey. And the origin, when you check the origin, the problem started from when your Nigerian government went to join the OIC, Organization of Islamic Cooperation. The real name is Organization of Islamic Countries. That was the beginning of the problem, because the end goal is to have an Islamic caliphate around the world. And Nigeria was one of those that is supposed to be an Islamic country. So when the one they call Ibrahim Badamos Babangida went to register Nigeria as a member of the OIC, a so-called secular state. Now you are blaming Tinubu for a Muslim ticket. But somebody did something in 1997, I believe, or 1987, I believe. Someone did something then. They took a secular country. Back then, it was 60-40. 60% Christians, 40% Muslims. But till this day, you guys don't even know who you are anymore. There is no census in Nigeria. There is no numbers. You are going with, adjusted, you guys don't even know your stuff. You don't even know who you are anymore. It's shameful and embarrassing. You run on an estimate. Oh, we are 200 million. We are this, we are that. Oh, now the Christians are 50%. The Muslims are... You run based on assumptions. It was done for a reason. That's why right now the minority, which are the Islamic people, they now control Nigeria. You now have a Muslim ticket where the president is Muslim and the vice is Muslim. My people, I'm saying all this for you guys to understand. I'm asking myself, what do we want as a people? Do we know that Nnamdi Kanu being held in Nigeria is a problem? Do we know we are fighting a war? The Biafran war has not ended. Do we understand that? I doubt it. I doubt it. Because the way I'm seeing these guys, they behave, the way I see my people, they act, they conduct themselves in the public, it is clear. You guys don't understand what's going on. That some of you live in Lagos, you were born in Lagos, and during an election they said the Igbos must not vote. You claim to be in a country, in a nation. You believe you are in a country, you believe you are a citizen of a country, but suddenly there was an election and they said, your tribe don't have the right to vote. It's because you are a conquered people on paper. Yes, they came with the so-called no victor, no vanquish. They came with that nonsense. But we know deep inside, we are conquered. A conquered people. If we keep on remaining in that disgraced country called Nigeria. And what do you think they do to a conquered people? What do you think? How do you think they will treat you? Being conquered in a country and somehow you are deaf, you are dumb, you are blind, you don't see what is happening around you. that today in Kwara State, the terrorists, the Fulani terrorists are doing what they are doing. The Yorubas don't mind. But when the Igbos go to Lagos to do their buying and selling, they are buying more real estate. Suddenly, it's a problem. The Igbos have come. What a deal. I want Igbo. But today, the Fulani terrorists are doing what they are doing all across Yoruba land. It's okay. Nobody's complaining. There is no red flag in Yoruba land. They feel okay. Do you know why? Because they know deep inside they have a partnership with the Fulani, with the North. FFK told you, Femi Fani-Kayode told you that there is now a partnership between the Southwest and the North. It is binding that nobody can destroy it. Some of you didn't understand what that man meant, because today, look at what is happening in Yoruba land. The Fulani terrorists have come. Sharia has come. There is IDP camp in Yoruba land. There is kidnapping happening in Yoruba land. Their land, their states have been taken over by the caliphate. But it's okay. This is something that can be discussed in-house. So the Yorubas, they ain't going agog. Even their so-called champion, their Superman, Chief Sunday Igboho, has joined the APC government. APC. That's under a Buhari government. They came to the house of Igboho to kill him. In the process, 2 of his comrades died in the house of Chief Sunday Igboho. And in less than 3 years, he's now with the same party, APC. We are conquered people. They have an alliance. That's why they're doing what they're doing. Because you and I know the day Nnamdi Kanu comes out and wears an APC cap, APC shirt. Come on now. That's a taboo now. It's not done. But they can do it and it's fine. The country did not burn. Seeing Chief Sunday Igboho dressing up in APC, the country did not burn. So to the Igbos, to the Biafrans, we must understand there is problem. Unless we are still deaf, we are blind to the facts, that's when we'll keep on pretending ourselves and acting as if we're in a nation or we're in a country. There is a war going on. And to them, we are the opposition. We are the ops. We are the ones that must be taken out. Because keep on asking yourself, how is it possible that they hate the Igbos with a passion when all we do in their land is buying and selling? We don't sleep in their bushes. We don't burn their house. We don't come and force them to join our type of religion and the rest of them. We don't come in the public and kidnap them, make videos, show how we share the money paid to us. We don't steal their land. We don't live in their bushes. We don't rape their mothers in the farms. We don't force them to do things against their wills. No. Whatever we are doing is buying and selling. If we're in a shop, we have paid rent for that shop, or we have bought it through, the legal means. We've paid the top dollars for such. So I ask myself, why the hate? Those that came to your land, if you claim we are in your land, even though you claim you are in one country, it means you are entitled to be in any place. But no, if you claim Lagos is your land and only the Yorubas have the right to do business, to do politics in Lagos, as you claim, because you claim you are in one Nigeria, you all say you believe in one Nigeria, but suddenly a man whose mother is Igbo, and they say, oh, this guy cannot be governor because the mama na Igbo. Okay. But I wonder, how come to the Yorubas you are angry with we, the Biafrans, the Igbos more, when it's the Fulanis that are coming to kill you guys, taking over your land, Kwara State, bomb blast, all these things happening every day. Just a few hours ago in a church in Kwara State, people were killed and kidnapped. But the Yorubas, they are calm. They are calm. They feel okay. But when the Igbos do something, just one small thing, it becomes a problem in Nigeria. My people, I don't know how else to say, but I agree with this young man 100%. Because looking from the outside, this guy has seen how we conduct ourselves. I'm using the word we. And he had to call us all sorts of names. He had to insult us because we are blind to what is happening to us in Nigeria. We are blind to what is happening to Nnamdi Kanu, a man who was kidnapped from Kenya. A kidnapped victim. The same way in Nigeria now, kidnapping is not the order of the day. Nnamdi Kanu was kidnapped from Kenya, brought to Nigeria through an extraordinary rendition, and somehow a trial took place involving a kidnapped victim. Let that sink into your mind. That the government, they profited from their own guilt, from their own crime. They went to Kenya, a foreign country, to kidnap a black British, a man who went to Kenya on holiday with a British passport. They went to Kenya to kidnap him, and they brought him back to Nigeria through what they call an extraordinary rendition. Hey, an international crime was committed by the Buhari government, by the Nigerian government, and under the Tinubu regime, he continued. In fact, he pushed up the ante. He went higher by sentencing Nnamdi Kanu to life imprisonment. It means a Yoruba man did what the Buharis could not do. Tinubu did what Malami could not do, because under him, through a Yoruba president, a Yoruba judge, a Yoruba DSS, a Yoruba AGF, a Yoruba prosecutor, Nnamdi Kanu, that was kidnapped from Kenya, was given life imprisonment. And not only that, he was given like a zakat to the caliphate, to the Sultan of Sokoto. And the rumor we are hearing is there's a secret camera in the room or in the prison of Nnamdi Kanu, in the cell, that at the pleasure of the Sultan of Sokoto, he is watching Nnamdi Kanu. When he strips himself naked, when he's taking his shower, when he's taking his shit, when he's sleeping, when he's praying, at the comfort of the Sultan of Sokoto. The Yorubas gave our leader, Nnamdi Kanu, sent him all the way to the north. Even though when that illiterate was giving his pronouncement in court, he said, "Oh, Nnamdi Kanu, you are hated by everybody. You are hated by everybody. Everybody wants to kill you. Because of that, I will say let the court system send you to the most secured prison of their choice." Of their choice. Of their choice. Those were the words of James illiterate Omotosho, a stark functioning illiterate, a man who could not read, a judge who was reading like a 3-year-old, a judge that pronounced the word stooge as stoogie. That's mad. In the statement, he said, "Oh, because you have done so much evil, everybody wants to kill you. So just to save your life, I would ask the prison systems or whatever to send you to the most secured prison where you will stay there also to preserve your life. There will be no internet. There will be no newspaper. You'll be supervised. But let them put you in any prison of their choice that they know is the most secure and safe for somebody like you. I'm doing that just to spare your life because everybody wants to kill you." But when we saw the CTC scan of the judgment, Because when they say whatever they say on that day, they are just saying the stuff. The main thing is what they wrote in the documentation, in the CTC scan. When we saw the CTC scan of the judgment of Nnamdi Kanu, James, illiterate, vagabond, Omotosho, he wrote, Nnamdi Kanu should be sent to Sokoto prisons, correction, whatever, correction prisons. There was no statement say, oh, to preserve him, let us find, please, use your discretion to put him in a safe place. No, there was nothing like that. This is how cunning the Yorubas are, not all of them, but that's the cunning nature of the Yorubas. That Chief Sunday Igboho was used by Tinubu to pretend as if he was fighting for the Yoruba nation. He pretended. They knew that the Buhari government, they have ceded the presidential ticket to the North, where Lawal, or is it Lawan, was the one that was to stand for the APC. What they are doing now, in fact, it could have been worse, because the Buhari government has given Lawan, the then Senate president, they've given him the ticket, they have ceded the ticket for him to be the one to be the flag bearer of APC. And Tinubu, through El Rufai, got the wind of it, so he called El Rufai and begged him, said, please, stand by my side. I need you now. El Rufai then had to work with Tinubu and told him the plans of the caliphate that the Buhari has raised up Lawan as the one to continue. So it means if Tinubu didn't do what he did now, a Fulani man will still be the one ruling Nigeria. They wanted to keep everything in the north going forward. The intention was to keep government in the north. Muslim ticket was the only option for Tinubu. But keeping power in the north means Islamization of Nigeria. Everything was done, orchestrated. The blueprint was there. But Tinubu had to come with a concept to say, hey, I am sick. It's my turn, but I am sick. That was why he now went to Professor Wole Soyinka. That one now discussed and told his men, because they had to be in the media, he now told his pirate boys to come up with a song. Amy Loco, Baba we know well. They say Amy Loco, and they shake like they shake. Baba we know well. They say Amy Loco, Tinubu we know well. They say Amy Loco. The song now had the traction that it needed. It went viral, and suddenly your Arise News, Kanu'S TV, TVC, NTA, Arise News, Ruben Abati, the one that wants to be called doctor, a mister who wants to be called doctor as a journalist. He came in the public and said what they did was wrong. How do you insult somebody who is sick? At old age, it is okay, sickness can come, but it's unfair to insult somebody who is sick. Also, the guy we all love to love, Rufai Oseni, not knowing at that point he was a useful idiot. He was used, he was set up, because he came and he made a heartfelt speech where he said it's unfair. Even his father died as a sick man. Don't insult somebody who is sick. That, Professor Wole Soyinka to speak. You need to speak to his, to the confraternity. How can they do that to this man because he's sick? And then the rumor came that, oh, Tinubu has a stage 3 cancer and is about to die, maximum 6 months. So his last will is to be a president, just to taste, to do something that Chief MKO could not do. MKO Abiola. Moshood Kashimawo Olawole Abiola. He wants to have one up against MKO Abiola. So his desire before he dies is to be president. So the cabal came with an option. I said, okay, in that case, you must choose a Muslim from the north, because they assumed he was sick. Can a man die? Can a man bury him? So with the assumption that he was sick, the Buhari cabal now came with the option of a Muslim ticket. Tinubu had to jump to it because he knew that was the only way. But the cabal now gave him as a running mate. The one they call Shetima, the founder or the pioneer of Boko Haram in Nigeria, with the assumption that this man might die within 6 months. And suddenly, Alhaji Shetima will now be the president to now give the blessings for the Islamization of Nigeria. What you see happening now, that was the blueprint. It was set back then. Again, Tinubu had to pretend he was sick. He went to greet an Oba. And at that point, when he prostrated to the Oba, the back of his clothes were wet. They ran with the narrative, oh, he now urinates on himself, you know. He peed on himself. He's sick. What a dirty man. He's wearing bags now, you know. And all those nonsense. A ploy by the media. And that one now won the heart of the caliphate. They now had the confirmation they wanted. So yes, he's very, very sick. And he'll die in power. That way, the power returned to the north. Since the vice is Shetima. My people, look, I can go on and on. In the 11th hour, they knew this man was up to something. They could not believe what was going on. And they did what they could to slow him down. For Atiku to win, because they didn't believe in Peter Obi. They were thinking, hey, this guy may have played us, but Atiku is still there. Atiku is still there. So let us find a way for this guy not to have the money to pull the crowd. Because the way things are going, Obi will take the east and will take a bit of the south. Atiku will handle all the, the states in the north, and Tinubu will be out of the game. That was their assumption. That Peter Obi being in the race will slow down Tinubu to an extent. But they knew he had the money. A friend of mine from the north said there was a change in the tone of Buhari because he was angry with Tinubu when he went to, I believe, Ogun State, and he made a statement there. And the statement leaked to the media. It was said in Yoruba, and when it was translated, Buhari got angry when Tinubu said, "O Conle, O Conle, O Conle," 3 times. He ran for office and he failed. He now went home, he was crying. And when he went to see him, he said, "Buhari, don't cry. Those things. Don't cry anymore. I will make you president." So that statement offended Buhari very, very well, that he wasn't happy with that. Hence, he called on Emefiele to come with this so-called monetary policy where they had to change the naira and all those things, because he knew the only power that Tinubu has is to buy people over. So he tried that to reduce the amount of money circulating. A policy came. The old naira has to go. And Tinubu was in deep shock. But the person that came to the rescue of Tinubu was Malam Rufai, who said, no. Keep on spending the money. Nothing will happen. Keep spending the money. Nothing will happen. If you have the money, keep the money. Yes, if you have the old naira, keep the naira. When Tinubu becomes president, we shall change the policy. It means when we bribe you, don't worry about it. Still keep the old naira we are bribing, that Tinubu will bribe you with. And when he becomes president, you can now continue using that money. So that was the last straw that broke the camel's back. Buhari now became a lame duck. He couldn't do more than what he could anymore. And before he knew it, Tinubu became president. And the rest is history. So unfortunately, the cabal now, they know that he lied, that he was sick. Now they see he's very healthy. They see now he goes to France on a regular checkup. Hence, they are doing what they are doing. Those in government, as the then President Goodluck Jonathan once said, President Goodluck said, people are in government who are part of Boko Haram. So those in government saying that Tinubu is hale and hearty, that he pretended, he lied to the caliphate because Lawan was the chosen one to run with that mandate. Hence, they have sent out their men to Kwara State and to Yoruba land to do what they are doing. Because they know the fight in Kwara State must continue. Do you know why? In 1999, President Olusegun Obasanjo tried to win over Kwara State. What do I mean? He was trying to hand over Kwara State to the Yorubas, and the North, they were not happy about it. So to today, the Fulani cabal, through their headsmen, Boko Haram, ISIS, ISWAP, they are now in the offense in Kwara State. And now they have tasted blood. Because they now see that the Yorubas cannot do much. And they have the people all across. The NSA is a Fulani man. And the rest of them. So, Kwara State and the Yoruba land is at a bit of punishment for what Tinubu did. For him pretending he was sick. And they assumed within 6 months he'd be out of power. So there is a war going on in Nigeria, my people. But somehow, we the Biafrans, we are still asleep. We still see Nnamdi Kanu as the problem. Some of us still blame Nnamdi Kanu. Ijele, you are seeing here by the left-hand side, the bottom left of the screen. He's still saying he wants to kill Nnamdi Kanu. The day Nnamdi Kanu is freed, he will shoot him down. And people still do politics. They are saying, oh, Peter Obi or, the city boys. The city boys are doing their politics in Southeast. Because they are foolish, they are dumb, they are naive. They don't even know what they are doing. They don't understand the language of the terrain. They don't know the terrain has changed. They don't understand that the music has changed from reggae to calypso. There is fire on the mountain and they are busy doing selfish interest. That they gave you 40 billion or 7 billion, I don't give a damn. What you are doing is what they call selfish interest. Obi Kubana and the rest of them, that nonsense they are doing. And in the next few years, now people like that will now come and want to become your governors. And you guys in Biafra land, that's my anger. When we implement Biafra, people like that will now come and want to now showboat, to now get the lion's share from the sweat of the people. That's my anger. But who am I? Because I know, in closing, I know the moment we implement Biafra now, people like Obi Kubana, they will now come and say, oh, okay, yes. We are the ones, and before you know it, they'll be vying for positions in the new Biafra. They'll become the governors. They'll become the senators. They'll be enjoying from both sides the best of both worlds. When they were in Nigeria, they were enjoying. We now have the Biafra. They will come again. People will still vote them in. While those that have been fighting every day for the restoration, they will not have a say. I hope that's not the country we shall build. I hope there will be an equal playing field. Only those that have the skills, the expertise, the technical know-how, they should be the ones that will come and vie for a position. Not for the money they will make, but the legacy, the prince they will live in that land. They will do it for a name, to make a name. That in 1,000 years, you say, these are the houses that Jack built. I remember as a child in Lagos, we went somewhere and there were some structures. And on the walls of the structures, it was written, these are the houses that Jack built. And I asked myself, who is this Jack? This was before this Tinubu and the rest came to Lagos. Then they were not in Lagos. The real Aworis were the ones in Lagos then. As a child, we were going around, looking around, and we saw houses in neighborhoods, block of flats, I believe, houses, these tall buildings. And on the side walls, it was written, these are the houses that Jack built. So one of the guys there, one elderly guy said, no, the man called Jack was a white man from Britain, that it was his legacy, like a signature back then, and all those things. So when we have our Biafra, anybody vying for a position, you are coming to paint your name in gold. You are coming to keep your legacy. That in 100 years, you'll say, oh, this industry, these businesses, these real estates, this economy was built by this man. And for the next 1,000 years, your name will be written in gold. Not how much you come to make. Not because you are rich and you want to become a senator because you are a billionaire. We don't need that. We need those that have the skills, the capability, the ability, the technical know-how. Oh my God, that's what we need in Biafra. I don't care if you are rich or poor. You must have the skills to come and vie for a position to become a senator, a governor, a councillor. We don't give a damn. So please, when Biafra comes, I'm saying this now in the public, all these guys who are laughing at us, insulting Nnamdi Kanu, calling me a criminal, calling Simon Ekpa a killer of his people, those in Biafra land, we shall call them out. We may have to call them out, my people. So please, in closing, this young man who spoke, we should not be angry with him. He's viewing from his own point of view, and from his viewpoint, he's calling us cowards, idiots. He used some swearing words and other things, which I will not say here. But I'd like us to play it one more time. One more time, please. Listen. Just one more time.
See, let me tell you something. I'm not fear anybody for here. But if I must say this thing, I'm going to say my mind. The fact is, and what is informing my mind is the fact that nobody lives here forever. I'm going to speak to Igbo people. And I'm going to tell you this. Nnamdi Kanu was a mistake that happened to you Igbo people. Was a mistake. Why do I say it's a mistake? It's a mistake in the sense that, despite the fact that all these things that this guy has stated some years ago, that is happening now, a bunch of you motherfuckers, let me put it, a bunch of you motherfuckers cannot even rally round to defend and protect and ensure the fact that he's been liberated. I'm telling you, it's a mistake. That is to say, the Igbo people are not worth sacrificing for. They are not worth dying for in any way. Because at the end of the day, they are a bunch of talkatives that doesn't translate into reality. And if I must say the truth, I'm going to say my mind today. I don't know whether I'm living, I'm going to live, how long I'm going to live or whatever. I'm going to say that I even appreciate the likes of them Gentle de Yahoo than a bunch of you idiots, a bunch of you fools that create flimsy excuses in regards why you cannot stand and defend the need that this man is not supposed to be behind bars. I'm telling you, take it or leave it. I'm calling for an anarchy or whatever. But the fact is, the reality is staring you people in the eyes. And you motherfuckers are seeing it. And the best you can do is online propaganda. To come and show why we are like this, why we are like this. You are expecting a magic, whether from the US or from any other country or whatever. But the fact is, the power lies within you people. You bunch of motherfuckers that are not ready to live up to. Do you know what it means? Do you know what it takes for this man to actually go even a year without seeing his wife and his children, without fucking his wife, to get that gratification. And you bunch of motherfuckers, even ordinary Soludo, young Buro Oba has to coerce you into the need why you need to open the market for economy to prosper. Despite the fact that you have your own brother that is detained while other people are still working freely. Bandits, criminals are still working freely in Nigeria. And all you have to say is, when we come out, they're going to kill us. Nigerian government, not like us, whatever. Let's pay money to lobby the US. It's a shame on you motherfuckers.
Hey.
And the last time anybody ever come up to tell me about Biafra, tell me what you're going to do about Biafra, or the fact that Nigeria needs to reset itself to accommodate everybody. But as long as this is concerned, you people are nothing but bunch of disgrace, with just an exception of few that are ready to lend their voice in regards to, is this a country? Marcel Nnamdi Kanu told you people that this is not a country. And we are seeing, and even the globe is seeing that this is not a country. This rubbish is happening. This man sacrificed his life, the life of his family, for you people. And all you bunch of motherfuckers can come and do is just to capitalize on the fact that when we come, they go kill us. Sure, they don't kill them now. They don't carry and go casino sentence up to life. And you bunch of motherfuckers are busy there in their homes, fucking their own wives, fucking your own wives, having your own children to see them every day, while this man cannot see his wife and his children. Do I agree with whatever he has done? I don't agree with the fact that his pronouncement or whatever has resulted to some casualties. But what has resulted to the casualties? The malhandling of the federal government of Nigeria of the situation that has translated into this. Because if the government were to handle this reasonably, it wouldn't have resulted to this. And this is a man that has a strong conviction, no matter what it takes. But you bunch of motherfuckers, keep doing your business. The last time I see any idiot between God and man coming to tell me why we need to do this on social media, thunder fire you.
Hold it there. Oh my God, this is too much. I ask myself, are we cost or are we the cause? Are we a cost people or are we the cause of our problems? Those were the words of Peter Obi. As a young man, I was some years ago in Enugu. I was going somewhere in Enugu and I saw a postal of a young Peter Obi with his hand on his chin. And the postal was a bit strange, was a bit bland, but it was straightforward. And the caption on the postal was, are we cost or are we the cause? As in, it was asking if people are cost, maybe by the devil or by God. Are we cost or are we the cause? Then I didn't understand the politics in the East then. So I said, who is this man? This is a very tight, very deep words. It has some deep meaning. And I asked myself, who is this guy? Peter Obi. And the statement is, are we cost or are we the cause? There is no campaign, no vote me for whatever. He just said, are we cost or are we the cause? No, my name is Peter Obi, vote me for governor. Nothing then. He was not a governor then. As a young boy, I found myself in Enugu and I saw that stuff. And as I was leaving, I said, who is this guy? Because some things, I felt it. I said, but who is this guy? What does this guy, what's going on here? So I'm impressed that, Peter Obi became governor and all those things back then. But also, when Kwankwaso was mentioned in the policy of Britain when it came, of America, not Britain, American policy when it comes to the religious persecution, Kwankwaso was mentioned as the one who pioneered Sharia in Nigeria. I knew. I came in the public. Those who hear me all the time, I came out and said, the Tinubu government placed that name there. And they told America, okay, if you are doing this, so we also need this in this partnership we are doing. This name should be there as the one who brought in Sharia, even though we know that's not truth. We know Sharia started from Zamfara. although they would have discussed it. But the governor of Zamfara back then was very, very stubborn. He was not scared of Obasanjo. And in 1999/2000, he came in the public and said, Sharia must be the new way of life for them. That's what will govern them going forward. And that they were having a discussion with the various states governors. So, and then before you knew it, in 12 states now, Sharia is now waxing strong. Even though Obasanjo said, I will leave them. Let me quote him with his voice. He said, don't mind them there doing Sharia. Sharia will die a natural death. I give them 6 months. Sharia will die a natural death. And also, in the rule of law, a Sharia law or a Sharia court is lesser than a secular court. So when the High Court, for example, has a judgment, it will supersede the Sharia court. So all you have to do is go to the High Court. It is greater, it is bigger than the Sharia court. So that means within 6 months, Sharia law will die a natural death. He had the chance to ban that nonsense, but he was scared of the caliphate. So he came in NTA News and he said Sharia law will die a natural death. Today, Sharia law is waxing strong and is about to take over Nigeria, if not for the timely intervention of America. However, when America was coming up with their policy, they had a meeting with Nigerian delegates headed by the NSA and the rest of them. They did some politics there and they said, we need the name of Kwankwaso to be in your new policy on religion in Nigeria. That Kwankwaso, being the leader, the pioneer of Sharia, is also will be sanctioned. So that was how Kwankwaso's name was listed. Oh God. Tinubu, I will not discuss something of who brought in America to Nigeria. I will not discuss that. It's a win-win. I will not discuss that area. But Tinubu made sure Kwankwaso's name was put and now he's sanctioned. For the sole reason they know that Peter Obi is trying to do his own mathematics to use Kwankwaso to become his so-called running mate. So to Mr. Peter Obi, in closing, I want you to know that even though I admired you as a young man, what I saw in that poster in Enugu State, the coal city, somewhere to be more specific, Oguyi Road, around Artisan Oguyi Road. I want to be more specific here. Ogbete Market is somewhere there. Artisan Market is there. Then Oguyi Road. That Oguyi Road. If you keep on going, you'll get to the stadium in Enugu. Enugu Stadium. And if you keep on going, you'll now see the railway. Railway is there. And if you come back towards Oguyi Road, if you go through the railway track, you will now see Modotel. Modotel is a hotel owned by Alex Ekweme. I used to go there every weekend to drink, to marry, and watch football games live. When people are playing football, I go to watch it there with my beer, my food, and everything. Even though I was inspired by the postal I saw, a blank postal, just your picture, I believe your name, and the next thing is, are we cost or are we the cause? Are we cost as a people? That's what it means. Or are we as a people the cause of our problems? Peter Obi, I want you to understand that you cannot integrate our people into a burning house. Those were the last words of Martin Luther King, a man who was shouting, I have a dream one day, the blacks and whites coming together, holding their hands, working together, being one. I have a dream. But towards the end, the dream of Martin Luther King became a nightmare. He said, what have I done to my people? I have integrated my people into a burning house. And then his mind was now changing. He now became, or he amended his relationship with Malcolm X, Once those guys in America, the CIA, those guys, once they knew that Martin Luther King was changing his way to move towards, the guy they see as being vicious and violent, Malcolm X, they knew it was time to kill him. It was time to take out Martin Luther King. Because what he did, he made a mistake. He didn't understand that, yes, there was segregation in America. But at the same time, the blacks were now having their own businesses. They had their own salon, their own, even the baseball league, the Negro League, they had their own football sports events. Their economy was doing better. There was job opportunity for them. Yes, the white had their own stuff. And they will say white only in some places, in some national parks. I understand that. But the moment he came with this dream stuff he was talking about, this dream he had of white and black coming together in America, it now meant the integration of the blacks with the white now meant people now started going to the white man's football games, baseball games, events, working with the white man, and it affected the industry of the black communities. Their businesses now went down. It collapsed. Suddenly there was no more job for the black man because now there is a limit to what they can do in the white man's industry, in the white man's world. Before you know it, crime became the order of the day. So when he saw what he was doing in the 11th hour, he said, I am integrating my people into a burning house. So as he was about to turn around, that was when they took him out. Peter Obi, I see you as the Martin Luther King of Nigeria. Be careful. Be careful. Go and read his last speech. Not the speech of I have a dream. That's the one they will show to the whole world. America will show that one to the whole world. But the last speech he gave before he was killed, go and read it. And it will blow your mind. I'm giving you all the assignment. Go and read the last speech. Google it now. Google is your friend. AI is your friend. Google the last speech of Martin Luther King Jr. before he was killed. You will shed tears. You will see a man whose eyes was open. His dream became a nightmare. A man who was saying, I have a dream. One day we come together. I have a dream. His dreams became a nightmare. He said, what have I done? I have integrated my people into a burning house. America is not fair. Now he became hardcore. He was now speaking the same way Nnamdi Kanu is speaking, with a fiery voice. No more church voice. He said, let's take him out before the crowd will wake up. So Peter Obi, be careful. This thing you are doing, Tinubu is backed by so many countries. So I will mention just two. France is backing him up. And you saw that passport, Guinea. You saw that passport, Guinea. There is a secret that Guinea has to keep. They have to keep their mouth shut and give their blessings. You will not understand what I'm saying. The third country will shock you all, but I will not speak on that one. Peter Obi, be careful. Simon Ekpa warned you to leave us alone, leave the Biafrans alone. Don't do what you are doing to get us involved. We have warned you, leave us alone. But you went on with the last election, you saw what happened. Yes, we know you won that election, but we saw what happened to you in the court. Today, I just want to speak, my people. I just want to speak. We saw what happened to you in court, that even the judges, they were insulting your lawyers. They didn't even give you 5 minutes. They spent the whole day reading the case of article just to justify. And when it came to your own, they spent less than 5 minutes in your case. And the judge was even insulting you compared to the judge and the lawyers of, the opposition. But the judge was insulting your lawyers. Peter Obi, be careful. That road where you want, that journey where you want take so. That road where you want pass. There is no way there. Be careful. They say, you've done it once. You saw what happened. If you do it again, now that he's now the incumbent, be careful. That's what I'll tell you. Be careful. For we, the Biafrans, we understand the game. Keep on fighting the good fight. At the end, our name will be written in gold as those ones that saw everything that happened and we spoke out. Let the naysayers who are doing what they are doing, let them keep on doing what they are doing. But all we are saying is Nnamdi Kanu must be released. We must keep on fighting because we know Nigerian government will not release him. They know deep inside that guy has the key to Biafra. So we shall keep on fighting to create a spare key to release us. Because to them they assume once they hold Nnamdi Kanu, it means Biafra is dead. Peter Obi, you said Biafra is dead. That it died in 1970. Peter Obi. My people, I'll leave it here. I don't want to go beyond the scope of this discussion. What I want to say is we must keep on praying for Simon Ekpa. And we must keep on praying for Nnamdi Kanu while we do the work. While we do the work. I've said too much in this video. Some few things I'm not supposed to say. But I will leave it there. I rest my case. For those that have ears, let them hear. For those that have ears, let them hear. No more talk.